Jurassic World Afterbirth Rebirth is far from a perfect movie, but let's just laugh and meme on it. And we start by seeing some CGI monkeys, because that's why we all watch Jurassic Park, right? For the monkeys. Production actually wasn't allowed to film any monkeys in Thailand, so these will have to do, but moving on to the second most popular island, and it looks fantastic, and the goddamn score is beautiful. Ugh, it's so simple to get easy points in my book just by paying for a composer to make a soundtrack. But we find out what's going on this island is the scientists are playing God again with these hybrid dinos and deformalities. Alright, here we go with this stupid Snickers ad. I don't know what's worse, this ad or the fact that he just throws the wrapper on the ground. Like, buddy, karma's gonna get your ass for littering, just you wait for it, alright? But I still hate it because it's an ad for Snickers. And even though it was just one door, the whole system goes down, which, okay, sure, but then why would all the enclosure doors open for the other hybrids? Movie's gonna movie, but we hear it's loose? Loose? How? They just went into its enclosure. It's like going swimming in the ocean and then being surprised when you're bit by a shark. The only difference here is the shark has legs and will chase you. The one scientist escapes, since the doors are just wide open, and we catch this sign on the wall saying it's been 9 days without an injury. 9 days? Jesus, this island was doomed from the start. And what the hell were they even doing going to the D-Rex closure anyway? It seems like someone was always gonna die in there. Oh, and the doors work again? Sealing this guy's fate. Get it? Sealing? And it's a door? I will say this, it's such a brutal death and I love it. I actually thought we were gonna get the Jurassic World that gives us the full horror that the people have been asking for. But it's a great intro and a great title drop. With a logo like that, it is pretty hard to not make a good title drop, but you gotta give credit where credit's due. And then we get what we've all been waiting for. Reading 5 lines of exposition explaining the differences from Dominion to now. Which was only 3 years, but we jumped 5 years in the future, so sure, let's continue. And it's a nice touch showing how dinosaurs would inconvenience daily lives when they don't just eat people. It's almost what I wanted out of Dominion, but whatever. Seeing our lead ScarJo, and she be looking good as ever. She's also the voice of reason in this film.
No, thanks.
And we're already setting up the villain to be this big pharma guy. Yeah, alright. And I know I'm gonna slam this movie a lot, but man, does filming on set look amazing. It costs so much more than just filming in Hollywood warehouses, but I think it's well worth it. We then enter a little museum and get the banner falling behind the T-Rex, and it's a direct callback back to the original Jurassic Park, and I love it. It's great. We are then introduced to Dr. Henry, and we get a whole lot of yapping about the plot of the film, being that we need these big heart dino data for scientists to make medicines. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't sound great. Nobody really cares for the plot in these movies, as long as the dinosaurs steal the show. They also rope Henry into this mission by this "have you ever seen a dinosaur in its real habitat" line, which shouldn't work because there's literally one right around the block. Wait, couldn't they just get the data they need from that one? Oh, dog, this movie should have been over already. What the hell? But Henry also says no one cares about these dinosaurs anymore, which I don't understand at all, because that would mean zoos wouldn't exist either in this universe, because I've simply seen a zebra before when I was 12. Also, there are kids born each year that would have never seen a dinosaur, not to mention that living costs are at an all-time high, so give some people some time to save up. Not everyone gets handouts like Argentina, but jumping ahead, and the mission's a go, and we see the boat has the same Jeep coloring theme from the original, which, hey, it's a great callback, showing the movie actually wants to respect its roots, and I'll point it out. And when debriefing about the neurotoxin they have to defend against any attacks from dinosaurs, this jabroni says it's a sin to kill a dinosaur. Really, man? Like, I love crocodiles, but if it's me or him, sorry, man. I gotta do it. It's just how it is. They also show the audience how they're going to be getting these samples anyway, from the land, water, and air dino, but fail to realize that the laws of physics don't apply as the device shoots straight up and then lands back down on a moving boat. I swear, a high schooler could have given notes on this. Like, Zora then goes inside and logs a quick goon sesh and then stops to banter about what their lives are like and lost ones. Yeah, it's not the greatest writing, but it makes the relationship with these characters more personal, which would make their deaths more powerful if they do happen later on. But after 3 full minutes, which is, 2% of the movie, we move on to finally see some dinosaur family. Yeah, we introduce 4 brand new characters, and spoiler alert, they all blow dick for Skittles. Cut them all and pay the VFX artists to add more dinosaurs to the dinosaur movie. Oh, and not a dinosaur. The mosasaur decides to attack the boat by gently rubbing against it, flipping the boat in such a missed opportunity to use some Jaws-like shadows. One of the greatest movies ever to hide the monster, but still make a threat real. But no, we just get the mosasaur being as big of a threat as a whale is. And are we just gonna ignore the fact that Xavier just outswam the mosasaur and then the scene just ends? Like, we deadass could have just cut this 7 minutes and just had their storyline start from the distress signal from the main boat. All this scene does is show us that Xavier's a loser and they aren't prepared to deal with monsters. Whoop-de-doo! Oh, and the Spinosaurus is nowhere to be seen when it was just there before. Alright, cool. Damn, that sunrise is incredible. It's exactly why you hire Gareth Edwards. This is something straight out of a David Attenborough documentary, and it's phenomenal. You can't do this in Hollywood. They then go scoop up the family, and Duncan's the voice of reason here, asking why are they in these dangerous waters with kids to begin with? It's not like they didn't know there's dinosaurs around here. This is global news. And man, I know Jurassic films are heavily sponsored, but what's with all the candy in this one, man? First we had Snickers, then Altoids, now we got Doritos and M&Ms? Y'all couldn't get Mountain Dew? Like, oh, I don't want to put it past them yet. They then say, it found us? Really? Are these the same writers that gave us How Would It Know to Do That from the first one? But the mosasaur found them, and this thing is enormous. Like, we're talking as big as Avatar whales, which are just as big as your mom. And then out of nowhere, it's back to being as small as a boat, which it's still big, but I don't know why we need these scaling issues already. Oh, and then the whole scene before with ScarJo being a good shot is useless now because she somehow misses the shot under pressure. Is she or is she not a professional? Like, you got me doubting these characters already and you just made them. Henry also then drops some bars with the science is for all of us, not some of us, which is the same philosophy insulin uses, but we see how that's going. Oh, look at how they murdered my boy. Not Bobby, because he only has a minute of screen time, but my boy Spino. Like, I know scientists have changed how he looks since Jurassic Park 3, but man, I loved my croc-looking boy. They also have terrible aim because this girl isn't eaten. And don't worry, it'll get worse in a bit. With the Spinosaurus and Mosasaur in hot pursuit, the same girl falls off, and then the family, apparently off screen, we didn't hear it, they made a suicide pact. So they also jump off the boat, which should almost certainly seal their fate. They end up losing them for a bit in the shallow, but Duncan ends up sailing full speed into the beach. He didn't even try for a second to slow down. He just said, F it, we balls deep now, release the kids. Now she's pregnant.
Am I pregnant? Am I pregnant? Am I pargant?
And now they're fully reliant on getting to the extraction site. And it becomes abundantly clear that this family has some of the strongest plot armor of any character I've seen in Jurassic Park, or any film for that matter, and will not be dying in this one, which is a bummer, because there isn't that many people left to die anyway. And as I was saying that, it takes 7 seconds for the Spinosaurus to wake up and ambush Nina, making her the 3rd death of the film. But that's not the worst part, because apparently Nina's got the grip strength of a pit bull latching onto a 3-year-old, because they end up losing all their supplies. None of which are important to the film, so they just move on like nothing happened. Damn! The only difference between this movie and Avatar is blue people at this point, because goddamn, this island is breathtaking.
When an old person buys a bed,
and Xavier couldn't keep his trap closed for 2 seconds and ruined this beautiful shot. I swear, every movie is trying to be Marvel and just spam mid-tier jokes every second they can, but just let the shot speak for itself. And that's the beauty of Jurassic Park. This scene has a striking resemblance to the original with Grant and the kids in the tree. And even on your worst day, there's something beautiful to look at. Or, I don't know, something, I'm not a poet, but sound Jurassic Park-esque. Back to the exposition-driven combos, because I'd rather not use my brain to figure out what's happening and rather be spoon-fed details. And in this slop, we find out that dinosaurs cost a whopping $72 million now, which is quite the jump from the Verizon Wireless $26 million murder machine. And even with inflation, it seems like we're just making up numbers, but I know Lockheed Martin and BlackRock would have just bought these up even at 72 millions just for the fuck of it. Xavier then seriously cannot be quiet and says he even has some weed and asks,
you don't smoke. You do smoke?
Dog, this joke was funny the first time because I wasn't expecting it at all, but it seriously has no business being here after going through not 1, but 2 attacks. And the gang is traveling through the river and Henry drops bar after bar after bar. And I don't know how, but he cooked here with survival is a long shot. It just fits the whole movie so well. Oh, and then that river monster? Yeah, it was a nothing burger and it doesn't come back at all, so it's entirely useless. Just make it a snake. I don't see why they have it in here. Alright, Xavier is off for the plot and the realism of the movie, but he's the only one that's funny. But still, in a dinosaur movie, they didn't show us what was down there. Even if it was just some herbivores, like, I want to see that. It adds to the movie. And it's already nighttime, and this family sleeps on the ground floor. So they should be dead already again. And I might just start counting how many times they should have died, because this is some crazy plot armor. And I know the other films have it too. It just feels so egregious here. But Xavier's going to take his watch now and seems to have done a full 180 arc, despite just 4 minutes ago asking if the 7-year-old smokes weed. But now he's a full-blown adult. They also try to make this an emotional moment between Xavier and the dad, but I deadass was wishing this whole family would be fed to the D-Rex because they provide negative content for the film. Yeah, negative, because they take away time and character development from the actual main characters. And we end up getting all these rushed characters at the end of the movie that no one really cares about. Xavier then rips a piss, but ends up walking miles away from camp. I don't know if he's pee shy, which is fine, but dog, the family is alone, sleeping on Dinosaur Island. Don't go too far! And he deadass almost gets clocked, but plot armor's too strong and is saved from another dino. And then he resumes his piss like nothing ever happened. And if there's one thing we know after 6 films, is that raptors are pack hunters. Meaning this guy's got friends, and the family should be getting attacked right now. This would also be the last we see of the raptors in the film, but I'm convinced they were only put in that one scene to make the cornfield scene more tense like in Lost World. But this fucknut gives Altoids more promo, because apparently this movie's just candy at this point. And they also proceed to glaze the theme song more than Lily Phillips going to world record gangbangs. Speaking of babies, we meet Dolores, the baby dinosaur that doesn't have a mother, and the little twerp says she's gonna keep it. Dude. What? Did we just forget that they don't exist outside on the mainland because they die? So she's just gonna kill Dolores. Great job, movie. We really hit a home run with that one. The Delusion group then falls 40 feet, but this movie has fall damage turned off because that would make it harder to progress the movie. So to get to the next scene, they just are invincible. In this scene, I will say, the colors are amazing. They're super vivid, and the fog combined with the tense score in the background makes this one of the few scenes I think were actually very great in the movie. But yet again, she crosses this full river. There's no river monsters. I would like once we explore the world of Jurassic dinosaurs that live in the river, but hey, whatever. We then see Amber, the new T-Rex of the series, and she's sleeping. So, probably not a good idea to inflate a raft and make a bunch of noise as if there isn't a sleeping T-Rex at like 6-7 feet away.
6, 7.
And it makes sense that this is the best scene from the movie because, you know, it's from the books. But it doesn't mean it's perfect because some unholy power makes it so this T-Rex has rubber for teeth? And they somehow don't pierce this inflatable raft. This little girl escapes unharmed. I swear, if Universal doesn't have the balls to have a kid die in the movie, why even bother having one? It defeats suspense for the whole scene because we all know they're not going to do it. And it doesn't happen. Oh, great. The raft made it through without bursting. Let me guess, this is just another ad for a company we don't give a single about, huh? But also, the T-Rex gives up hunting them, and the fam starts laughing because they all read the script and saw that the scene just ends with all of them still alive and with the raft intact. But back to the main characters, or not, I don't know who has more screen time at this point, but they're going after the air dino, and that's as big as an F-16. So they're gonna rappel down the cliff, which they make the point of saying, if you fall, you die. So we'll remember that for later. But the nest area is some sort of leftover Indiana Jones set piece or whatever, which serves no importance to the story, so I'm not sure why this isn't just a big ledge on the side of a cliff. Big Bird shows up and causes a bit of a fuss, but doesn't end up doing too much besides eating Duclair, who might actually be the only death of the film we're supposed to care about, but he's still a side character, so nonetheless, rip Duclair. Oh, and what was the scientist guy's name again?
Henry!
Oh yeah, that was it. But he falls to his death. Oh, no. Okay, he's fine because the 2-foot deep puddle saved him. You know, why not? His glasses stay on the whole time because I don't know, this movie's... Dog, I swear, this movie has so many problems, but what the hell was that? Edwards, my guy, you're better than that. It's just a movie. But we finally arrived to the lab pickup site, where both groups meet up and have some sort of a powwow out in the open in this dinosaur-infested island. I don't know why they don't just go start a fire and wait to hear the helicopter, as helicopters aren't quiet. Like, I feel like the writers were just clocking in for a paycheck and then going to work on the new Fast and Furious movie. We then find out the billionaire villain is bad. Huh, who would have thought? Who would have seen that coming? Oh, okay, let's hold up. When was the last time people were here? It was 17 years ago. And this bitch still has power every night? Oh, come on, man. I'm tired. And if you say solar, I'm gonna start bugging, because this place hasn't been maintained in 17 years. And they would have been covered in debris, if not damaged from the, I don't know, mother dinosaurs? Yeah, sure, it's a great song, but why is Stand By Me playing? The time the lab collapsed was in 2010, so that would mean that we should be hearing some California Girls or Lady Gaga, and not this 6-year-old song. Essentially, we just need white girl music, right? The Moodons show up and they kind of look like turkeys with a throat that don't quit. Like, look at that thing. Whew. And knowing we're at the end of the movie, we know none of the main characters will die from here on out, but we get this super gas station horror scene. But apparently the Moodons don't have a sense of smell, because everyone should have been dead in there, including Dolores. And this also looks like the very first time in 17 years that any dinosaur has ventured inside, because all the food is still on the shelves. And I know it's not what we go for the movies for, but there's not a single rat in the whole place. We're not in space, people, it's just an island. It's not Epstein's island, but we see the other billionaire visiting the island ends up getting in this electric Jeep. It fucking started? What the fuck, man? How on earth does a 17-year-old electric car start up like butter? I know we have hybrid dinosaurs in this universe, but even that's more realistic than this. Whatever, it's just another impossibility, but Henry flags down the rescue copter and thinks all is good in the hood, but in fact, all ain't good in the hood as this unusual fog rolls in. And 1 hour and 51 minutes in, you're reminded that the poster dinosaur of the whole film still hasn't been a part of the movie. And this thing must have been eating those titanosaurs, because it's freaking huge and it snacks on this heli as if it was a Snickers bar, and then yeets it into oblivion. R.I.P. to those three, but damn, it's a sick shot showing how powerful the D-Rex is. I love it. And, well, the fun part is over, because now they need to plan the escape, and they're going to use a 17-year-old boat this time. I'm not gonna even go there, but they crawl around in these drainage tubes and ScarJo rejoins the gang, but actually ends up shooting and killing one of the Moodons. Crazy how bringing proper weapons to the island helps you not die. And I'm flabbergasted that Henry didn't say she was Satan Resurgence with his whole "it's a sin to kill a dinosaur," unless he had a change of heart in the past 24 hours and now knows why we need to shoot them. Alright, so they reach the end of this tube and it's gated off, and surprise, surprise, the little shit that didn't do anything of value the whole film is finally of value and can fit through the gate. And just because the script says to, the D-Rex meets them over by the dock and doesn't feel like eating the kid and Dolores, because that would be too easy, but would much rather eat the billionaire's face, but very importantly, not to eat him in one bite, because that would mean that the gang would lose all the samples, making this entire mission and movie a bust. Duncan then, in a self-sacrifice, leads the D-Rex away, and this thing is slow. I'm talking my 600-pound life slow. I'm not actually sure it has eaten anything in years, because how would it catch its prey? This thing is massive. It is slow, and it can't camouflage, so I'm sure this thing's starving. And this thing also has Edward's classic scale issues. 1 minute the D-Rex is 100 feet tall, and then next it's back to being a mere 20 feet. The same thing with the Mosasaur earlier, but I don't care how big they are as long as they just keep it consistent. This thing is a baby in the trailers, so nobody cared that it was small. It was fine, but the thing was barely in the movie, and they still couldn't get the sizing right. Anywho, we assume from here on Duncan is dead. We basically saw it with his flare going out, but apparently that means he's not dead, and sets off another flare, but this one doesn't attract the D-Rex for no reason at all. And then the gang is all together sailing away. Happy ending with the Jurassic Park theme playing in the background, signifying it's all over. Plus some dolphins. And all seems well, except for one small detail. The bloody Spinosaurus and Mosasaurus are still out there! Literally, the 2 times we see boats on those waters, they are attacked. What the f***, man? That was the whole point of the helicopter. But now that we wasted so much time on this stupid family subplot, the movie just black screens, and I'm supposed to feel good after that? Man, I don't know if I'm being too harsh, but that's been bothering me since this came out. And, oh yeah, the little girl, she murdered Dolores. We made the whole plot in the beginning of the movie saying how the dinosaurs can't live, and then she brings one back. How? What? I don't get that at all. And just because I ragged it on a lot, let me glaze on what I did like. I did like that they didn't try to force a love story with ScarJo and Henry. A lot of times they try to force a love story, and I'm glad they didn't try to force fit into this one. I will also say the intro to this movie is amazing. It hooks you in right away with the D-Rex being this experimental monster escaping containment and instantly just kills a guy like 3 minutes into the movie. It's just a bummer that it actually isn't the tone of the whole film, or really anything after that part. And I will say, it is also also very nice and refreshing to see a movie that's shot on set and actually takes the time to not film in a warehouse. Because it seems like everything is just filmed with green screens now, but hey. I hope you enjoyed this. It was fun for me to make, and check out some of the other videos I made if this is your thing, or if not, have a good one. Peace.